That is what you sign up for if you decide to change the world, if you decide to create something from scratch. That is par for the course. Today, I wanna share a story. It really comes from my heart. I was talking to one of my good buddies, and he's going through a hard time. He had his lead sales guy quit, and his only sales guy quit. He's got issues in his business right now where his senior leadership, like he's got a few people that essentially run the business with him. One of those leaders, there's some misalignment right now in kind of what they're hoping to do with their career and what's available in the business. And then there's a bunch of other issues with their go-to-market's not working. They're spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars per month on ads that, if anybody's in the Facebook world, has just totally gone to crap. And I get what he's going through, but what I want to share with you is this acronym. It's called the B.O.A.T. Build your boat. This was my message to him. Is the way I've learned, because I didn't start my life this way by any means. I started with a mindset of scarcity and lack and fixed. And over the years, I've adopted these new beliefs. I've collected these beliefs. It's allowed me to go, from challenge to challenge. And not that it doesn't affect me, right? It just allows me to go from challenge to challenge with a different perspective, knowing that if you look at like the long term, like 5,000 years from now, a lot of this stuff isn't going to matter. On your deathbed, a lot of this stuff is not going to matter. It doesn't mean that it's not significant. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be resolved. But if you give it a new perspective, it kind of helps you deal with the here and now. So I shared this analogy of building your boat. And it comes from the idea that in our lives, we're going to deal with really chaotic waters. If you're trying to create anything, if you're trying to build a business, I just want people to understand that it is going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. It is not meant for every person to be somebody that runs a $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, $10 million a year, $100 million a year company. It's the same concept of thinking I want to be a regional athlete, a national athlete, a world level athlete. Like at each level of that desire, it's going to be hard. And the boat is the framework to be able to navigate those waters. It doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish. It will be hard. Things will come up. Your bank will call you and pull the line of credit. COVID will happen. Your co-founder will quit on you, whatever it is. And the BOAT is an acronym. The first, the B stands for belief, right? And for me, belief is all around this concept of confidence. And this is what I share with my friend. It's like, what does confidence mean? First off is you have to believe that you can get through this. And the origin of confidence for me comes from the idea of I've dealt with challenging things in the past that I've overcome. So I asked them to make a list. I said, just make a list of all of the things that you've ever faced, adversity you've faced in the past that you've overcome. And through that challenge, you've actually become a better person, right? Or I like my buddy Jason shared this with me. It's no pressure, no diamonds. That in those moments of challenge, having gone through it, you've actually learned and you became a better entrepreneur. And he made that list. And I go, perfect. You are still the same person. All those things happen. You got through them. If you had to go through them today, again, would it be as tough as when it initially happened? No. Perfect. So what I want you to understand is belief comes from building confidence, and confidence is a byproduct of making commitments to yourself. So I share this often. I say, so now is your opportunity to control the controllables. You can't convince somebody to not quit. You can't convince a customer to not cancel. You can't convince Facebook to not, triple their ad costs or whatever it is, right? But there's things you can control. And the more you can adhere to honoring a commitment you've made, from what time you wake up in the morning to going to the gym to drinking water to eating meals that nourish you, that is going to help you build the confidence. And that confidence is going to build the belief that you can go through this. We want to build that foundation. A while ago, a friend of mine, Brendan, showed me this thing called the confidence competence loop. It's like an infinity loop. And essentially, the more competent you get at dealing with challenges, the more confidence you'll build when those moments come up in the future. And that is the idea, that we're navigating this crazy, challenging, rough sea out there, but building our boat. And the more we build it, because it's not a one time and it's done, it's the more we build it, it'll allow us to tackle even rougher seas and allow you to become the entrepreneur that succeeds, right? So that's the B. The second one is O for optimism. Man, this one here, if I could allow you to enter in my mind and hear the thoughts that go through and the things that I think about, I think it would really, it would surprise you. Because as a default, I really, really work on, one example is PMA, positive mental attitude. And I get upset. My wife calls me out on it. Renee is amazing at it. She will call me out on it if I don't approach this, but I always want to default, assume the best intentions, API, always positive intention. So I always assume positive intentions of other people. Optimism, I always believe that something is going to succeed or be possible, or even the belief of like, it is what it is. And it couldn't happen any other way because it didn't. Just that idea, right? But having a vision and being optimistic for that future and creating from a place of desire of creation, not from a place of lack, to me is a great way to build that optimism. And it's a muscle. It has to be developed. It's not something you're born with. You have to develop the muscle of seeing a glass half full, right? Of seeing the opportunity, of believing in the possibility. So that's optimism. Third is assertiveness. One of the challenges, one of our core values as a company in my training and coaching company is candid communication, because I believe one of the biggest risks of a business is having people see things that are not right and not feel comfortable sharing those opinions. And I just think often a lot of the friction that, or really just chaos, right? When I think of like the challenges my friend was running into, there was clear signs that some of these situations were happening, and he didn't assert himself and ask the right questions, didn't push the individual to really challenge their intentions, challenge their desires, challenge their long-term vision. And it could have been a mutual conversation of a transition or a mutual problem-solving process because they knew it before it ever happened, but they didn't assert themselves. They didn't, they allowed, and I see this often, maybe you've run into this, where you allow people to kind of push on you a certain way. In your heart you want to say something, but you don't. That's fascinating, right? When you're somebody that something happens and you see somebody do something wrong, and and you don't have enough confidence to say something, right? So to me, building your boat is about being assertive. It's about finding your voice. Often when I work with my leadership team, I am pushing back on certain strategies that they might present me. Not because I don't believe in them. It's because I want to see if they have an opinion around it. I want to see if they believe in it. I want to see if they're going to assert themselves. I want to see if they're willing to fight for their ideas. And that, when it comes to building a boat, the assertiveness, is such a critical component. T is for trust, okay? And it's trust in yourself. For me, like, I learned a long time ago that I need to be okay with being misunderstood. Jeff Bezos talks about this often, the founder of Amazon, whereas I'm willing to go years and years and years and be misunderstood by the markets, be misunderstood by the public, because I have a vision for myself. And that's sometimes what you need to accept, is that you need to build trust in yourself, trust in the process, build that confidence, build that belief, build that assertiveness, and trust that you will show up the moment it's required. And, the way I think about how do I build that belief mindset is I just ask myself, has anybody else done this before? Is there anybody else in the world that has accomplished what I'm about to accomplish? If the answer is yes, that's a data point. If they figured it out, so can I, right? I can ask myself, am I willing to put in the work? Am I legit willing to show up day after day, 7 days a week at a specific time and do the practice? I don't like the word train. I like practice, okay? When people are basketball athletes or football, they don't train, they practice. And I've talked to this with my Ironman coach because he doesn't like that we call it practice or training, because it's not training. You're supposed to practice. You're supposed to show up to do the work, to develop the skill so that on the day of the race, then you're executing what you practice, and not just any practice. It's perfect practice. It's a structured focus on specific areas that you're trying to improve. And if you're willing to show up and do the work, and you're willing to give yourself enough of a timeline. The other part is people are just so freaking impatient, and they think they should be a millionaire after 12 months. Look, if you just give yourself a timeline, call it a decade, and commit and say, I'm willing to invest over the next 10 years to be great at this business, at this thing, to get this outcome. One thing, 10 years. There's not a lot that you could decide to do that with some high probability of success you would accomplish. And I think that's really important to understand. So I wanted to share that boat analogy, because life is going to be tough. You're going to be in a crazy sea of waves and tides and rain and lightning storms, because that is what you sign up for if you decide to change the world, if you decide to create something from scratch. That is par for the course. That is just part of the process. The question is, are you going to consciously develop your boat? Okay. Are you going to build your belief, your optimism for possibility, your assertiveness to find your voice and speak up, and to trust in yourself? Are you going to build a world-class boat for your mindset, for you? And to help you, I want to share a resource. It's called the Dream 100. The Dream 100 is a framework I created a while ago that is based on the 100 people, because I think, there's power in proximity. You're a byproduct of your community and the people you spend time with. So the Dream 100 is a framework where I break it down into 3 buckets. Okay. There's the mentors, the advisors, and the peers. And in the framework, you can click the link below to watch that. In that process, I show you how to approach them, what each one of those buckets brings to the table for you, how to make the list. And then just know that you've got 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to kind of build out. 100 people is a lot of people. Some of you guys may not even have one mentor. I'm going to show you how to make a list of 10 and 30 advisors and 60 peers. Peers are people that are 1 to 2 years ahead of you. They're going to be inspiring. They're going to be your biggest cheerleaders. They're going to make the whole journey in this crazy ocean of turmoil fun. Imagine that. If going through crap was fun because you knew at the end of the day you were learning something new. That is my hope for you. That is my wish. That is the message of today. I hope that this video finds you incredibly well. I'd love to hear from everybody below in the comments. Let me know, what is the number one thing you took away from this analogy of building your boats? I want to hear from everybody in the comment. Please do me that honor. I'd appreciate it so much. Hope you have an amazing day. We'll talk soon. Peace. Later, everybody.